This rant was originally going to be about curses in films. No good curses anymore. There's a few here and there, and maybe we'll still talk about it another time. But let's talk about Beauty and the Beast and the problems it presents. For one, the curse wasn't even that bad, and that's what it is. It wasn't a spell. I think maybe you guys might be confused. A spell has to be lifted, right? The curse has to be broken. I'm pretty sure this falls into curse territory. Maybe not. I think so. It's not a polymorph, is it? Anyway, so he gets turned into a beast. He still walks on hind legs. He can still wear people clothes and speak. That wasn't that bad. I mean, he was set up for success, I think. You know, if he was like a horribly mutated monster and lived in a cave, that's the Beauty and the Beast I want to watch. That's the one directed by David Cronenberg. In this one, I mean, nobody ever talks about Belle the Gold Digger. But let's be clear, the Beast owns a castle. He's got a castle. The famous ballroom scene in the original Disney animated. You marry the Beast, that's now your ballroom. Not to mention his servants. He's got servants. I'm borderline. I've been wanting to say slaves, which I think it would be interesting to have a retelling of Beauty and the Beast on like a plantation, like during right before the Civil War. Because let's talk about this. The curse it's like transmutated all of his servants too. The horrible. So what? So you pissed off some type of fairy lady or whatever spirit angel wishing person, and now I'm Clockman. You're still a mammal. I'm some type of horrible clock person. I was speaking about this with a young lady, and she said that. And what about Chip? Was he born a teacup? That's the only life he's known. Being a teacup. How does that work? When the curse gets broken and they go back to human, that's going to be kind of a shock, like a culture shock. I mean, that's an understatement. But Chip, like, now I have to eat and poop and things and sleep. I mean, do they sleep? Do they need to sleep? What about Candlestick Man? Is he constantly on fire? I haven't seen the live action one. I'm getting over it, but at first I was shocked of its success, mainly because I think this. I mean, it definitely does fall into remake territory. I saw The Lion King on Broadway when I was in high school. We took a field trip to Broadway, or New York. Lion King. It's getting Julie Taymor directed it. It's getting all this great publicity. Like 5 minutes into that production, and I realized this is just a Disney cartoon, like word for word, scene for scene. I don't know. I guess I've got the wrong perspective for that. That it's hey, let's get together and do a production. I guess for its own sake, for the sake of doing it. I suppose. I don't know. I'm constantly hungry for new content. Anyone who knows me knows that. And what was this magic being doing? Prowling the night. I don't know what she is. But what do they say? So ultimately she sets Beast up. I feel a little. I'm more on Beast's side now. So he's this like raging asshole, and all he cares about is like what beauty, right? That's his thing. He's obsessed. Well, I guess he's really good looking, but he still like stays in his castle. I guess he had to be a pain to work with. I mean, to be like a servant for beforehand. And he answers his own door. If I learn anything from Batman Rising, you got a butler, you don't answer your own door. So that suggests to me again, he just wanted to go off on someone like Mormon's the newspaper guy. Old woman's there. She's like, I just need a place to stay for the night. No, you don't. You trickster. You don't need a place to stay tonight. You don't need to sleep or eat likely. or maybe you just feed on people's misfortune. So she set him up because he's the old, you ugly, get out of here. I feel like that's gonna be me in the future. And reveals herself like, aha, I really am. I don't know. Now I don't even know if she looks like a beautiful woman in real life. Now she's just fucking with him. Oh, look what you turned down, kind of. And as a result, I'm gonna put a curse on you and everyone in this castle that's secluded in the woods. It's all very convenient. Where does she go after that? I feel like she goes around the world just like preying on people's like weaknesses and their susceptibilities to certain things, and then cursing them, and getting away with it. After this happened, the Beast immediately should have hired a witcher. Be a different story altogether. But let's conclude briefly with reality. I think why I had a problem with this, I didn't have it spelled out for me until recently, and now that makes perfect sense. This whole story is just a metaphor for women meeting a man who is, almost, I say feral sometimes, men who are still, bachelors in a sense, and how a woman can domesticate said man and turn him from a beast into a Prince Charming. And, it's terrible. It's Twilight for girls, which was also Twilight was for girls, which was, I don't know, that's fine. That's fine. It certainly is a fairy tale. Enjoy your fairy tale. And if an old woman wants something from you, take your chances. She's probably not magic.